It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Oh, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8, and here we are. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. A Wednesday, halfway through the week. From here, you can kind of see the weekend peeking up over the horizon. It'll be here soon enough. Well, you know, it's funny. The nature of news, and the nature of how it works, is once a story happens, and you have a little bit of follow-up, which you should, and then it kind of fades in the distance. I mean, it's gone. It's just the nature of how news works. But then you think the incident or the people involved are still very much affected by it. But in news, you can't really spend a lot of time on stories then because there are news stories. But this is big, and it was big, and it will probably, I hope, will be one of the biggest horrible fires in the city of Hornell ever. I mean, this was just massive. And there are still a lot of people who were displaced and a lot of people who have lost everything that they had. I mean, everything. The houses were a total loss. A lot of them. And so these people are still displaced. They still need all this stuff. But, as you could expect, the Hornell area responded in a major, big way. The response was absolutely overwhelming. I was thinking within probably a day and a half of that fire on Preston Avenue, the Hornell Arts Center on the Broadway Mall is full. And that's a big building. The old Ponderosa restaurant there, it's a big building. But so many people responded by donating all kinds of stuff, mostly clothing, I guess, is they're full. And they were full yesterday afternoon, which was Tuesday. This is Wednesday, so it took about a day and a half. And that's how much was donated. Wow. So what, as you heard on Brian's newscast, what they do need is, let's say items that you would need, cleaning supplies. If you move into a house or an apartment or something, you have to clean it, right? So they still need things like toilet paper, mops, brooms, shovels, paper towels, cleaning supplies. So that's what they still need. And of course, Maple City Savings, I think, is still accepting monetary donations, checks, gift cards, and all that. So, that was an absolutely amazing response. And these people are still without homes or apartments or something, and they still need help. And as I said, even though the fire was days ago, they are still out there. So way to go, the Hornell area. The Hornell Common Council met last night, as you heard on Brian's newscast there. Let me see what else here. Talk about the residency requirement if you want to work for the city of Hornell. You heard that story. And there were a few more things. The council approved Mayor John Buckley to execute and submit a 2019 Community Development Block Grant application for housing rehab activities within the city. That's kind of big news. And also, what else here? Another resolution establishes the standard work days for elected and appointed city officials and will report the days worked to the New York State and local employees' retirement system based on the timekeeping system records. And it's the responsibility of each council member to keep and submit a monthly log of their activities on city business. And there was one more dealing with parking. It added subsections to the Hornell City Code's general parking restrictions, and one is, no vehicle shall be parked with its curb tires being more than 12 inches from the existing curb. So you have to be a foot or closer to the curb, and also no vehicle shall be parked with its left or driver's side tires nearest the curb. Now, I don't know how would you park with your with the driver's side tires nearest the curb, unless you're going the wrong way in the street or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's new there. And also, kudos, big time, to Alfred University. There's going to be a basketball game Friday. Brian, when does that start on Friday?
7 o'clock.
Okay, 7 o'clock Friday at the McLean Center.
Yes.
And the donations, there is no admission charge, but they will be accepting donations. And that will go to help the victims of Sunday's fire. That's a wonderful gesture, absolutely wonderful gesture. That, way to go there, way to go. Oh, what else have we here? Let me see. This is from Fox 4 in New York. A New York-based company is looking for someone to review a wide variety of cannabis products, marijuana, and give their unbiased reviews and opinions of them. That should be interesting. American Marijuana says the person hired will be shipped a box containing different brands and varieties of cannabis every month. These products range from weed strains, vapes, edibles, to CBD oils. And the applicant will then test the products in person and write about their experience with the product from unboxing to everything they'll be doing with the product. It has to be noted that the applicant will be required to record their experience on film, according to the description on the website, the American Marijuana website. And basically it says, the applicant will be paid up to $3,000 a month or $36,000 annually, depending on their experience and their capabilities. The applicant needs to be physically fit and healthy in general to carry out cannabis product reviews on a regular basis. And they're looking for someone who has extensive knowledge of marijuana to educate their readers. The applicant will have to write about their honest reviews and opinions of the product in the form of a blog. And the applicant will also need to be comfortable on camera. And they must live in a state in America or Canada where medical marijuana is legal. So there's a job for you, a marijuana tester. $3,000. I could imagine what the reports would read like. Okay, I'm not even going there. I don't know. So you have to write about your experience with this marijuana and make $3,000 a month. Man, okay, that's good. You're looking for a job. There's one for you. I don't know. Let me see. What else? Oh, I really don't watch TV. I watch a few things on TV, but generally speaking, I don't watch TV. And the impeachment hearings going on in Washington, on TV, yes, sirree. It just, I don't, what a circus. What a circus. And it is. We have, I don't know, how about arrogant, sanctimonious, downright snarky? I mean, really? And yesterday, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, a National Security Council aide, gave some testimony. And as I said, I don't watch TV, so I haven't watched it. But I checked it out this morning on the web. And Vindman looks like, now this is only for our older listeners, I'm sure. But in the early and mid 60s, there was a folk singer, wildly popular, Alan Sherman. And he had, his biggest hit was, Hello Mother, Hello Father, I'm here at Camp Granada. Anyway, so it was a big major. You couldn't go like 10 minutes and not hear this stupid song on the radio. It was kind of funny, but you hear it like every 10 minutes. It got just a little much. So Alexander Vindman, Lieutenant Colonel, as he pointed out during the testimony, by the way, looks like Alan Sherman. Now, the ringmaster of this circus going on down there in Washington is Adam Schiff, right? The congressman from California. He's the ringmaster of all this. And, I thought last month or something, Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, said that it breaks our heart in doing this. We really don't want to be doing this. This is absolutely terrible, and it's so sad, and it breaks our heart. Yeah, right. Okay, fine. Of course you don't. Right. So we have Adam Schiff and old Nancy. So I took a look at a video on the web this morning of this Vindman guy. And the guy really looks like Alan Sherman. I mean, he could be his twin. Right down to the glasses. So I took Alan Sherman's most famous song, Hello Mother, Hello Father, I am here at Camp Granada. And I came up with, hello, Adam. Hello, Nancy. As you see, I'm dressed all fancy. I am giving testimony, even though we know it's really just baloney. So I don't know, but I think he might possibly have a future or something. Maybe he could take a folk singing or something. I don't know. Anyway, okay, let me see. Where are we here? College students. Where did I get this from? I got this from Associated Press. College students turn to adulting classes for basic life skills. Adulting class. In other words, how to be an adult. And this is in Kansas. Many students entering college haven't mastered basic life skills, such as changing a tire or balancing a checkbook. So some universities are responding with non-credit workshops, sometimes called Adulting 101. In other words, you're learning in a university how to be an adult. Well, that's good. Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas, offers a series that teaches practical skills. Wichita State University has offered a workshop on budgeting. The University of Nebraska at Kearney taught a tax preparation workshop, and a University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill workshop focused on building credit. That's kind of interesting. While older generations might scoff at millennials and Gen Zs for not knowing how to perform these tasks, educators say today's college students grew up under intense pressure to pass college entrance exams and achieve high grade point average, giving them little time to learn life skills. Hovering parents and a decline in traditional home economics classes also contributed to the problem. Although they are teaching some courses in universities and colleges that you just don't know what. But they apparently they're not learning how to be adults. Okay, when high schools began focusing on core subjects for testing, classes known as home economics or family and consumer science began to decline. By 2012, fewer than 3.5 million students were taking such classes, and that was a 38% drop in 10 years. It's not considered to be a core area, and so it's easier to say maybe we don't need this, said Dwayne Whitbeck, the chair of Family and Consumer Sciences at Pittsburgh State University. Students working with Kansas State's Health Center organized workshops because they had few opportunities to learn life skills. One student, what's his name, Frankie Skinner, says, "We don't have classes on how to change a tire at school. We lack knowledge of just basic adulting." Okay, there's an honest statement, I guess. Educators hope learning these lessons will help students cope with what they say is a mental health crisis. Okay, caused by increased academic pressure and expectations. And here's another student. She goes to Kansas State. Anna Traham. In high school, I felt really pressured to take a lot of college classes to succeed because there was a huge race for a valedictorian and being on top of the class. No matter how high your GPA was, everybody was still stressed. You had to be perfect all the time. So mental health advocates say it's not just high-achieving students who feel stressed. They believe adulting classes can help prepare already overwhelmed students for life's challenges and make students more resilient to better deal with setbacks. Oh my, you have to deal with setbacks? Wow. When did that happen? One student, a health educator at Kansas State, Megan Catt, said, "When we're not given the tools to solve problems, we are not able to be resilient." So they're learning all these crazy classes about a whole bunch of stuff that really doesn't make a lot of sense, but they don't have the basic skills like changing a tire or balancing a checkbook. Well, okay, fine. Well, at least they're teaching them. I mean, right? It could be worse. So at least they're Adulting 101. So kids students in universities and colleges have to learn how to be an adult. Okay, fine. Let me see. Speaking of colleges and universities, Pledge of Allegiance recitation removed from and then restored to Michigan University's student government meetings. Student government leaders at a Michigan university said Tuesday that a recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance would be restored to the agenda for their meetings after they voted last week to scrap it. The body voted last week to remove the Pledge of Allegiance from its agenda after its verbiage was deemed non-inclusive. Now, how could the Pledge of Allegiance be non-inclusive? I don't know. But video obtained by Campus Reform showed the Grand Valley State University Student Senate discussing the vote after weeks of debate. In a statement on Facebook, the University Student Senate said they decided to restore the pledge to the agenda after it, quote, contemplated the many diverse perspectives of students and stakeholders. Through deliberate dialogue, we work to find a solution that we believe will meet the needs of all students. Under the new policy, students have the option to stand or not stand during the recitation of the pledge. Students who backed the initiative scrapping the pledge reportedly took issue with the mention of the word God. Apparently, that was very offensive and non-inclusive, or something. I'm not sure what. But anyway, let me see. One student said, I have no allegiance to pledge to the federal government as someone who feels entirely unsupported by its figurehead. The lack of respect and empathy for the greater student body hurts my heart, added another. So, let me see. Campus Reform Editor-in-Chief Cabot Phillips said, it was disappointing to see students come out and say that the Pledge of Allegiance represents an oppressive government, in their words. So, okay, fine. They don't see their own privilege. He said the fact that globally is not a common thing to be. It's not a common thing to be able to criticize your own government. He said there are students right now halfway around the world in Hong Kong. Okay, we're keeping track of that in Hong Kong, fighting real oppression, and they're singing the national anthem of the United States in Hong Kong. Okay. Because they know that we represent true freedom. Right on, I quite agree. Okay, let me see here. Insurance, everybody needs insurance. Whether you're here, maybe in Hong Kong, who knows, but you need insurance. And you can do no better anywhere on the planet than the Ryan agencies. They have insurance offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. They are insurance experts. They know the ropes. They know how the thing works. And they have access to all these insurance companies. So when you walk in there and you say, hey, I need insurance for this or that, they will say, well, let's just sit down and see. Well, we have this company. No. Maybe this company. Okay, maybe. Oh, this one will suit your needs. Exactly. They will, they offer sound and biased advice. They're insurance experts. They're working for you. That's why they're there. They are the Ryan agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
We had no movement in the top six in the latest college football playoff rankings released on Tuesday. Number one is still LSU, followed by Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. Alabama, despite the loss of starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa for the season, is still at number 5, and Oregon is at 6. In NBA action, Lakers top the Thunder 112-107. LA is a league best 12-2. They were led by Anthony Davis, who had 34 points. LeBron James added 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. He's the first player in league history to have a triple-double against every team in the league. Pelicans topped the Trailblazers 115-104. In his Portland debut, Carmelo Anthony had 10 points in 24 minutes of action. Warriors were winners over the Grizzlies 114-95. The Kings down the Suns 120-116. NHL games of note, the Islanders edged the Penguins 5-4 in overtime. New York is now 14-0-1 in its last 15 games. Stars over the Canucks 6-1. Dallas is 11-1-1 in its last 13.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks falling as investors sifted through a slew of earnings reports today, with the Dow falling 19 points, the Nasdaq down 49, S&P 500 down 3. And shares of plant-based meat company Beyond Meat were far from sizzling today on Wall Street, falling over 22%, marking the end of Beyond Meat's lockup period. For the first time since its IPO, early investors can sell the stock. Now, despite the sell-off, Beyond Meat reported a much bigger profit than expected for its third quarter. Shares of Mattel spiking after hours, around 18% after the toy maker posted better than expected earnings for the third quarter as newer models boosted demand for its flagship Barbie brand, and the launch of dolls based on Korean pop sensation BTS lifted international sales. Mattel also announcing it will be hiring a new chief financial officer in the wake of a whistleblower investigation relating to its accounting practices. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. And right now, get your first online visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. forhims.com/joy.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Hornell, New York, you'll find brand new 2019 Nissan Sentra SV models equipped with 16-inch alloy wheels, rear monitor, push-button ignition, and cruise control for just $15,999. Shop Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads or Hornell. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Okay, and we are back. Man, this is really unusual. Former McDonald's worker is hailed as a hero. I don't know about that, but is hailed as a hero after revealing his secret. Now, I got this from Fox News. This guy worked at a McDonald's in Canada. And I don't know why he did this, but he revealed on social media that he didn't give customers the proper amount of McNuggets. Right? He worked at a McDonald's in Canada for 2.5 years. And he said, on Twitter, he says, I put 11 nuggets in almost every 10-piece I made. So you order a 10-piece McNuggets thing, and he puts 11 nuggets in there. Social media has embraced this, and his tweet earned over 899,000 likes and has been retweeted over 79,000 times. And then he put in an update. The location was mostly drive-through, so not that I can remember, but I'd like to imagine that when they went home, they saw the extra nugget and smiled a little bit. So he worked on McDonald's from 2007 to 2009. That's according to the New York Post. So, he would put 12 nuggets in a 10-piece order. And it's amazing how much of a gift that feels like, posted one user. It honestly never occurred to me that this might be intentional. So other users called him a hero. It turns out Bondarchuk wasn't the only worker to be generous with the nuggets, with another user revealing if it wasn't a bad rush, everyone would get 5 in their 4-piece, 7 or 8 in their 6-piece, and up to 15 in their 10-piece and 25 in their 20-piece. So apparently this is like a bunch of McDonald's workers in Canada have rebelled, and they're putting more nuggets in nugget orders than the person ordered. So anyway, why he made this admission, I have no idea. Guilt, who knows, strange. Okay, so that's that guy in Canada. So he was putting more nuggets in the order than the people ordered in the first place. That's kind of weird. And this one's definitely strange. This you rarely hear about this. A bank teller, and this is in Maryland, has been arrested after allegedly going to an elderly customer's home and attempting to rob him of a large amount of money he had withdrawn from the bank earlier that day. So this 19-year-old kid is a teller at a bank, right? And let me see, a 78-year-old man comes in and withdraws a lot of money, cash. So this 19-year-old teller follows the guy home, knocks on the door, breaks in, assaults the guy, the 78-year-old man, and there's a 57-year-old woman in there too, and she splits, she's gone, so she goes to a neighbor's home and calls the cops. And eventually the cops find the guy, and he is charged with home invasion, robbery, burglary, and assault. But rarely do you hear of a bank teller robbing a customer, except maybe in Maryland. So there you go. That's strange. That's certainly a turnaround. Okay, and that's it for this morning show, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05-ish. Bye.